James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end McDonald down the line left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben all the way back to the 2 to the 1. And the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it. Calling signals, takes the snap, gives it, Chubb runs, dips his shoulders, he's to the 40, 35, he's to the 30, cut back 25, he's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Nick Chubb, he's over 1,000, and the Browns lead 6-0. James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end McDonald down the line left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben all the way back to the 2 to the 1. And the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it. Calling signals, takes the snap, gives it, Chubb runs, dips his shoulders, he's to the 40, 35, he's to the 30, cut back 25, he's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Nick Chubb, he's over 1,000, and the Browns lead 6-0. James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end, McDonald down the line, left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben, all the way back to the 2, to the 1, and the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it. Calling signals, takes the snap, gives it, Chubb runs, dips his shoulders, he's to the 40, 35, he's to the 30, cut back 25, he's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Nick Chubb, he's over 1,000, and the Browns lead 6-0. James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end, McDonald down the line, left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben, all the way back to the 2, to the 1, and the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it.
All right, we are good to go here. Guys, welcome to Load the Box Browns. My name is Chris Paxitas. That's my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful co-host, Eric Mienko.
Wonderful as you want to say in there?
I will add wonderful, 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 wonderful. There you go.
I'll take it.
All right. So, busy news week, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Busy news week. Had a lot going on this week. Lots of things to be decided, but before we get into that, our man Eric Mienko here decided to bring the family up to training camp. What was it, last Friday and Saturday?
Saturday, yep.
All right, there you go. So I want to hear about it. So Mienko, how was training camp? How's your week?
Before we get into
it.
mine, my story is going to be a very long story.
Okay.
So as our tradition, how was your week? And then we'll get into my story.
Oh, we're going me first. Okay. Well, my week was all right. Did working a decent amount this week. My job doesn't, they haven't given me an official work vehicle yet, and I need one. They've got one for me. They're just outfitting it with like emergency strobe lights and things like that, Right. So I've been getting rental cars for like the past few weeks. This is on my third week of a rental car. And this week, Enterprise told me they had a truck with my name on it. So I'm like, okay, cool, because I've been dealing with a little smaller SUV and then just a little sedan. Well, I get up there to Enterprise and I'm like, all right, where's my Dodge? Where's my Ram at? And they're like, oh, we don't have that now. We gave that up. And I'm like, okay, so what am I getting in? Like, we're going to put you in this convertible Mustang. And I'm like, okay.
Do you know what I do? Are you sure you want me to take that?
It has, and a fun fact about this Mustang. Now, it's not a stick shift, so it's not as fun as like,
right.
It's not as fun as it could be, but it has a little sport mode on it. You just you shift the gears down. You got your normal reverse, neutral, drive, park. Then there's an S right under drive, and that stands for sport. It's got a little get up and go.
I would hope so. It's a Mustang.
I may or may not have opened her up a little bit on the highway, just a little bit. I just had a little bit of fun. Nothing crazy. It wasn't for a long distance because, I'm not trying to get a speeding ticket right now, and
that'd be bad.
Yeah, and they're expensive. And last time I got a speeding ticket was September 30th, 2011. I'd like to keep it that way. So knock on wood. And that's the only speeding ticket. Actually, it wasn't even a speeding ticket. It got reduced to a moving violation because your boy fought that in court because I was not speeding. I was not speeding at all. I was going 45 and a 45. Dude said I was going 45 and a 35. And I was like, no, I was going 35 and a 35. Then it changed to 45. So I accelerated to 45. And he goes, nope, I clocked you that in the 35. I'm like, well, I didn't. And he goes, well, here's the ticket. I'm like, all right, I'll see you in court, dog. I saw him in court. Anyway, got reduced, so it worked out. Anyway.
Good.
Daughter starts school tomorrow. Why she's starting on a Friday is beyond me.
My son starts next Friday, so I don't feel too bad.
It's so weird, but
it is.
So we're dealing with it right now. My wife has been crying today because our daughter's getting older, and I've cried a little bit too because she's getting older on us, and I don't like it.
Absolutely.
But that's enough about me. How was camp? What'd you see? What'd you do?
So
takeaways, give it to me.
I don't have a whole lot of takeaways, and there's a very good reason. So we get up to camp Friday about noon. And it's about, I don't know exactly how long, I would say about half a mile walk from Baldwin Wallace, which is where you park at, all the way to the gates. And, we get there, it's hot. It's probably about 87, 88, 70% humidity, no clouds at all in the sky. Thank God we were under some shade, or else we wouldn't have lasted as long as we did. So we're standing there waiting for the gates to open. Gates open at 1. So a full hour of us hanging out, trying to stay as cool as possible. We're sweating. I'm already dripping sweat as it was when we walked in at 1. Practice starts at 2. So they have the left side, which is where they expanded at, and then they have the right side of the facility, and that's where everything always is.
Yeah.
As far as like the different things, activities. So you had like the 40-yard dash, vertical jump, like the basketball game. It looked like Basketball Connect 4, which I thought was kind of cool. And then they had like kick a field goal, throw the football through the little hole, those kind of things. So we did all that stuff for the kids, just so they could kind of do something before practice started, because I knew they wouldn't last 3 hours with doing nothing. So practice started about 2. We get up to the stands about 2:15, and still no clouds at all just pure heat. Sit down. The benches were so hot, it was going right through my khaki shorts, right through them. I mean, it was burning hot. So we sat there until about 3-ish. Then when the clouds started to roll in, I knew there's a chance of thunderstorms, but wasn't quite sure if it was going to rain or not.
Yeah.
So about 3:45, practice ends at 4. 3:45, we heard fell a few raindrops. I was like, hopefully it's not crazy. Then about 3 minutes until they were done with practice. 3 minutes left on the clock. Heard a crack of thunder. Not even 30 seconds later, lightning hits, practice is canceled. No autographs. So we start walking back, and from where the benches are to the gate is probably, I don't know, a good 500-600 feet, and it wasn't raining too hard. So
Yeah.
then we get to the gate, and we have our half-mile walk back to the car. The rain starts to pick up more. And my son has pretty bad anxiety. One of his big triggers is thunderstorms. Hates them. Absolutely terrified of them. And we are walking through this thunderstorm. And there's 2 or 3 side streets between the gate and where we were parked at. The first side street, they had a bunch of construction equipment. So we looked over, as we were walking through, and there is this giant crack of lightning. I'm talking, it was huge. Just a bam! And then you heard the thunder right after. Boom, boom! Terrifying. We get to the second side street, probably about, I don't know, 100 yards from the van, and it just absolute floodgates opened. Downpour, couldn't see in front of you. It was hailing, but not really hurting us.
Yeah.
But it was just, we were so wet. I've not been that wet in a very long time. But as far as camp takeaways go, and this was true for both days, that defense looks really freaking good. It looks so freaking good.
That's
Myles
good.
Garrett,
That's good to know. That's good to know.
yes. Myles Garrett looks like he's on a tear. He's a man on a mission. Greg Newsome looked really good, locking down wide receivers.
Greg Newsome has had a fantastic camp. Fantastic. Yep. Hopefully this man can stay healthy.
Yeah,
and that's the name of the game right now, isn't it?
Yeah,
health.
But Saturday we went back. Same kind of deal. 88 degrees, no clouds in the sky, pure sun, pure humidity. It was just miserable. But the way they did it this year was a little different than normal. It used to be in the past, you kind of line up along the gate and guys kind of walk by and sign autographs. Well, this year, in order to get autographs, or at least quote unquote get autographs, you had to get these private tickets. They weren't handed out by any specific people. They're handed out randomly. It was luck of the draw. Even though I asked probably 20-ish people on Friday, no one could tell me how to get them. They all said it's all random. So my buddy who went up with us, Jordan, he has season tickets, and his rep was able to give him 2 of the tickets. So we sit through practice again. It is just miserably hot. From what I could see, because they practiced on the other side from us on Saturday, the defense again looked really good. Harrison Bryant had a few drops, which was kind of weird because wasn't really like him. Friday, I go back to Friday. John Kelly had a run, and man, he hit the hole and he was gone. It was like a bolt of lightning, gone.
It's good to see him coming around. I really like him. I like him a lot, and obviously he's the only quote unquote fullback on the team. I know he plays a lot of tight end as well.
Johnny Stanton's the fullback.
Oh, Johnny Stanton. What is wrong with me? John Kelly. Now I know who you're talking about. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind.
It's all good. But
we'll get to Johnny Stanton later.
Yeah, we can get to Johnny Stanton later. But Saturday, practice was about over. We go to get lined up for the autographs, and I didn't know how they're going to do it. Because you've seen videos where it looks as if they're kind of lined up like behind a fence. I've seen other videos where it looks like they're right there. They brought us out onto the field. We got to stand on the turf. It was turf and then the actual field. We got to stand on the turf. And we had some players who went by. We had Richard LeCount signed Noah's football. Then we had Jordan Elliott signed his football.
Nice.
I don't know who the third guy was. And the coolest moment was Joel Batonia signed his football and took a picture with him.
I saw that picture. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was very jealous.
Yeah, I was loving it. Obviously he doesn't know the magnitude of it, but I was geeking for him. But he was super excited to get the autographs. It was a little depressing though, because Amari Cooper had come out to do a radio interview, and that tent was right behind us.
Yeah.
And he went to go back inside, and he signed like 6 people's autographs at the very end of the line, and we were at the other end. So he didn't get to us. And then Njoku went in for a radio interview behind us again, and by the time he came out, they made us all get off the field.
Ah.
And then another one we missed was Stefanski. Stefanski was 3 people away from us, and he said, "All right, guys, I'll be right back." And then he went to go walk back after he, listened to whatever the security guy had to say. He goes, "No, we need you to go in." So he had to go in. There were so many people we thought were going to come over, though.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb walked right by us. He walked over like in a dead line towards us, and then went like this towards the facility. And then he walked back out, went all the way across the field, and then walked back in. And we were like, "All right, come on." And nope. By the way, he looks really good too. He looks really, really good.
Gotcha.
As always, as you expect.
Yeah. Now, didn't Jordan get to meet Kevin Stefanski? Did I see something like that?
So you may have saw him take a picture of him, but
Yeah.
he was the same thing as us. He was closer than what we were, but he was probably 2 or 3 people away as well. They're all hovered around Stefanski, and then that's when that guy, I don't know if you can see the security guy in the picture, but he kind of grabbed Stefanski like, "Hey, we need to go." And then that's when they blew the air horn and said, no, you have to go. But so that was Saturday, and then Sunday we had tickets. We woke up, we saw the forecast. It had like a 40% chance of rain. I said, I am not getting wet again. I'm not doing it. So we ended up going to Edgewater Beach and swimming in the lake for a little bit. And
nice.
Quite literally, we got out of the beach. Well, we saw the rain coming in. So we went to the beach house, got changed, came out. I got back to their car to talk to them about what the plans were, if we were going to get something to eat or not. And then it started downpouring. I drove through, no lie, 6 downpours on the way home.
Wow.
Downpour, stop. Downpour, stop. And it'd be like downpour for, I don't know, a mile, and then it'd stop for 5. And then a downpour for a mile and stop for 15. And it was just like, I was like, I don't want to see the sun or rain for the next 3 days. Thank God I work in IT, so I can work inside.
Well, must be nice. Not me.
Is.
I'm outside.
It's very nice. I will admit that. That's also why I'm fat, but has its perks.
Well, all right. Glad you and the family had a good time. Sounds like, for the most part, you guys had a good time, except for the weather.
The heat. Yes.
The heat. Don't worry. Here in a couple months, that place is going to be freezing.
I would rather have taken cold with a winter coat on than having to sit through that and literally sweating through my pants.
Same. And there's nothing like watching a game on the shores of Lake Erie freezing your ass off.
Yeah, that's not fun either, but you can at least dress for the weather.
Yeah. Something about that lake. Lake that just does it for me. Well, guys, the NFL has appealed the suspension of Deshaun Watson. We had a feeling it was going to happen. We weren't quite sure, but sure enough, they appealed. Why the hell we went through this process is beyond me. It's almost like it didn't even matter. It's like the NFL didn't hear what they wanted to hear. So they're like, fuck it, we'll just do it ourselves. Now, granted, Roger Goodell is not hearing the appeal. He brought it to somebody else, but he has
it doesn't matter.
But he still does have NFL ties if he's on one of their committees. I know that. Right. I can't remember the guy's name, and quite frankly, it doesn't even matter. He was like an attorney.
We all know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So the NFL has confirmed they are looking for at least 1 year to be suspended. Roger Goodell came out and said that straight up. He wants a year.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know when we're going to hear a decision. It could be tomorrow. Could be, keep an eye out on our Twitter account. As soon as we hear something, we'll obviously tweet it.
Yep.
According to the Associated Press, Watson would accept an 8-game suspension and a $5 million fine. But the NFL wants a full season. And again, it's like, why did we go through this with Sue Robinson? Why did we go through all this bullshit? Like, what was the point? What was the point in this?
I agree.
it like
I mean, this is
to me, it comes back also to the NFLPA. Why did you agree to this? That's
point.
what's pissing me off, and this is what pissed me off during the last CBA.
Yeah,
they agree to this, and then they get pissed off when the NFL's like, okay, we're gonna go by our rules that we put, and that you guys
the
agreed
bylaws
to.
that we put in there that you guys agreed to that were heavily favored in our favor, and you guys still said yes to, which were idiotic.
It's
why you would have the wording in there that says if the NFL appeals and the PA pretty much doesn't, then whatever the NFL says is law.
Yep.
Like, why would you have that?
Why
would you agree to that?
Now, I think that if this guy, what was his name? I just read it. I just read it. Former New Jersey Attorney General Peter Harvey. If Peter Harvey comes down and says, all right, indefinite suspension or 1 year suspension, I think Watson's camp will sue.
Matter.
But regardless of what we do know, he's going to be out 6 games, no matter what. Bare minimum, it's going to be 6 games because the PA did not appeal.
Correct.
If this new ruling comes down and they appeal that or whatever, then that could get pushed on to next year. But he's still going to have to serve the 6th game.
Right.
So he might be back by Baltimore, or he might not. Or Peter Harvey's going to come down and say, I agree with the suspension. I doubt it. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. But he's got that option. So we'll see. We'll see. Yet again, we are in limbo. Yet again, this place is cursed. Yet again, we lose a guy who's had a great fucking camp to an injury, another Achilles injury. Yes, I'm talking about Jakeem Grant, guy who we signed from the Bears. He signed a 1 year deal for him?
Yeah.
Yeah. He tore his Achilles. Done. Out for the year. Now we got to find a return guy. Because probably, maybe, hopefully, we'll see. I don't know.
That's who they'll put back there.
Still, this was the first year that I was excited about the return game since we had Josh Cribbs.
Yeah.
And Travis Benjamin, because when Benjamin played, he was pretty good. I
will say that Grant looked really good. Obviously, it's just camp, but he looked very shifty and very fast coming with the ball in his hands.
Yep. Well, there you go. Our wide receiver room is hurt, and it is hurt bad. Luckily, David Bell's back on the field.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of pressure on the rookie. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him to get the job done.
On him and Mike Woods.
Yep. Because I honestly, I don't have hopes for
Sports.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have high hopes for him because his camp's been a little you know.
He had struggles.
And he obviously struggled on the field last year. So it's one of those, we'll see what happens with him. I wouldn't be shocked if he got cut. I hope not. I hope not, but
I think you give him 1 more year.
So they are looking at free agent wide receivers. There's been a lot of names out there like Will Fuller, for example.
But you don't really want him. He's hurt all the time.
Exactly, but I mean,
the name that comes to mind for me is Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little long in the tooth, but
but he played really well for the Bills last year.
Yeah,
he still had 800 yards or something like that last year for them. He still had a good year.
It's worth a shot at this point because we need another veteran guy in that room. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
626 yards.
Okay, there you go.
Almost 15 yards a catch last year. That's not bad. That's good. They're good numbers.
Oh yeah.
For your number 3, Like he's a veteran guy that can move within the offense. A guy that can come in, can help teach David Bell. You know who your number one is. That's solidified. Amari Cooper's your number one.
Yep.
You have a great idea of who your number two is in DPJ.
Yep.
Then we know who our number one tight end is. So then you have to fill basically 2 slots.
Yep.
Are you running a second tight end, or are you running that third wide receiver? So you have David Bell and Emmanuel Sanders to fill in those 2 spots. And I would love to see them grab Emmanuel Sanders, put him in the slot if needed, and then obviously Amari Cooper can go in the slot too if depending on the formation. But then you can have David Bell kind of slowly bring himself along. At least my thoughts.
Yeah, no, you're right, exactly. So assuming, I think honestly at this point in time as us Browns fans, we need to hope for the best, but prepare and assume the worst.
Yeah.
And assuming the worst means that Watson is going to be gone the entire year.
Right.
Assuming that, rumor that the Browns are going to try to go and get Jimmy G. They're trying to go get Jimmy Garoppolo from the 49ers. I'm okay with that move if Watson's gone the year. He gives us a better shot than Jacoby Brissett.
I don't know about that.
I think so. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo took his team to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, but you can't really compare those 2 years for Brissett and Garoppolo. I mean, Brissett had trash. He had not a single wide receiver on that team.
No, you're right.
He didn't have a running game. Didn't have an offensive line. Their defense wasn't good either. They finished in the bottom of the league in almost every single category, and he still led them to 7-8, something like that, 7-9.
Something like
so
that.
It wasn't a bad year for him. He doesn't turn the ball over. It's just like Jimmy G. But Jimmy G had all the keys to everything he needed. You had a great running game. You had Kyle Shanahan, one of the best offensive minds in the league. You had a very good defense. You had George Kittle. You had Deebo Samuel. There wasn't much else more you could have put around Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Maybe one extra wide receiver.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I also have a feeling that the NFL is going to release the rule, like they're going to make, what's his name? Mr. Harvey, Peter Harvey release his suspension tomorrow, because we have a preseason game tomorrow and the Browns are slated to start Watson. They don't want that. They don't want Watson on the field at all. For better or for worse, they don't want him on the field.
Yeah.
So they're going to release it tomorrow, because if they're going to bring down a year suspension, he's not going to play tomorrow. Why would you play a guy who's going to be suspended a year?
Right.
They don't want Watson anywhere near the field this year at all, not even a little bit. So they're going to bring it down tomorrow, and they're going to ruin Kevin Stefanski's plans that he's got. Here we are yet again in fucking limbo. Yeah. We know what we have next year. But I'm tired of saying, "Oh, wait till next year, wait till next year." My God, am I tired of saying that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's bullshit, man. And yet again, I just wish we weren't in this situation. Right. I wish Baker Mayfield would have worked out. I wish he was the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling if he wouldn't have got hurt last year and he would have played fine, we wouldn't be in this situation. But
no, we wouldn't be.
But yet here we are. I'm not going to cry about spilled milk. And I'm also not going to be the guy that focuses on what Baker is doing down in Carolina, because quite frankly, it doesn't matter. He's not a Cleveland Brown. He's not under contract with this team. So whatever he's doing down there, I don't care. Good luck to him. Hope he has a great career, but I hope he gets his ass kicked week 1.
He don't wear orange and brown, so he don't matter.
I hate the fact that dumbass gave me the best quote. I really hate that. I really, really, really hate that. I won't lie to you. It's ridiculous. I hate it. I mean, it's such a good quote because it's like, that's me.
Right.
That's me. Yet I don't want to associate with Freddie Kitchens.
Right.
don't want to associate with that guy. No offense to him, and he seemed like a nice guy. It's just
Alabama.
Alabama. God, his accent was annoying after a while.
Yeah,
but I
he
still
kept
wish
losing.
I still wish it would have worked though, because I mean the man grew up a Browns fan. That's what you want.
Yeah, but he was now he's a senior analyst for South Carolina.
Oh, he's not with the Giants anymore.
Oh no, he got fired last year.
No, yeah, duh. I kind of lose touch with guys once they get Das Boot.
Once they no longer matter.
Once they no longer matter. If you don't wear orange or brown, you don't matter.
That's
Fuck
right.
you. Fuck you, Freddie Kitchens. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. So I think we still have a good team if Jimmy Garoppolo is under center. Obviously,
That's
I would
better than the roster they had last year in San Fran.
Yeah,
at least debatable.
I mean, really, their big weapon was Deebo Samuel, and that's it. Obviously, I think we have
a very good running game.
Yeah, well, Deebo Samuel did it all. Did everything.
Yeah, but they still had George Kittle, one of the best tight ends in the league.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Brandon Ayuk was an up-and-coming star. I mean, they had plenty of weapons around him. I just don't know if it was everything that we have.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, obviously, and same thing with Kareem Hunt, which we need to talk about that later, but they're way better than what they have there.
Honestly, though, if we get Jimmy Garoppolo, my wife's not allowed to watch the games because, I mean...
Him and Stefanski sit next to each other?
No, my wife's not allowed to watch those games because I am not as good looking as Jimmy Garoppolo. As a straight man, I can say that. Dude's good looking. He's a good looking dude. I mean, obviously, he was dating porn stars in San Fran. Like, pop off, King. Do your thing.
I mean, at least he's not Zach Wilson. He's coming after your mom.
Hey, listen. Don't talk about the King that way, okay? Don't talk about the King. Zach Wilson is a dog. He is a dog. You know what? Good for him, man. Good for him.
Kudos.
I like that after the news broke of that, he got on Twitter. He goes, "Hey, took a break from social media. What did I miss?"
Right. Yeah, that was hilarious. That's because they were up in Wyoming or wherever.
Yeah.
They were away like what Baker did for them last year.
Yeah. That's funny.
It's hilarious.
But it kind of reminds me of the Delonte West and LeBron James situation before LeBron went to Miami. Did you ever hear about that? Delonte West, he was a teammate, obviously, on the Cavs. Rumor has it he was banging LeBron's mom.
Oh, okay.
And it was a big rumor. It wasn't like one of those just like somebody just started a rumor. Like, no, that shit had some heat to it.
Wow.
Like, because I saw a picture of them two standing next to each other. It was a meme, and it said, "Look, LeBron standing next to his dad." I was like, "Damn, wow. They didn't have to do him like that." Man, that's funny.
But getting back to the Browns, one thing I wanted to say, it was nice to see that Kareem Hunt only did it for 2 days, and my thing is this: am I mad at him for doing it? No. Is the timing terrible? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like at a time where we needed no more bad press, that was the absolute worst time to do it.
Yep.
Do I hope they pay him? Absolutely. Do I think he's a pivotal part of this offense? Absolutely.
I'm not gonna get on a guy for trying to get his money.
Oh no.
Especially when you play this game, you get as much money as you can. You get as much money as you're worth. Because you can't play this game forever. No, I will not be mad at him for that.
No.
But it was very bad timing. I hope they pay him. I don't think they will. I think he's going to be playing I don't think they will. They've got other guys that can possibly fill his spot.
Yeah, but who's going to do it effectively, like effectively he did?
They think Dernis Johnson can, and that's also why they drafted Jerome Ford.
I just don't know. I mean, you only have Dearness Johnson for one more year, too.
Maybe. Well, again, that's why they got Jerome Ford. Let them both walk.
Yeah. I don't know. You got to have enough healthy backs. But either way,
I agree. I agree with you.
I honestly hope they do pay him. They have the cap space to do it.
They do.
Cap space is going to keep going up. The Sunday ticket deal was done after this year. So what? Probably 2 years, and the cap's going to explode, which is perfect timing for us.
Yep. And I really, really, really hope that the next deal that they do, obviously they're going to start their own streaming service. I hope it's not too expensive.
They may go Amazon.
I hope it's not. I'd be surprised if they get locked into another deal like they did with Sunday Ticket. But I don't know. I hope it's not
too Buku, whoever it is.
I hope
There's no way you pass up on that kind of money. No way.
Yeah. I just hope it's not too expensive. Whatever they do, hope it's not too expensive.
Yeah.
You know, and like everybody has Amazon Prime for the most part.
Exactly.
So like if they make it a part of your Amazon Prime where you pay like an extra $50 a year, I mean, I would do that.
I'd be down for that in a heartbeat.
I would 100% sign up. You wouldn't believe the things that I got to do this year to watch the games because I don't have DirecTV. And I've got ways. No, I'm not stealing it. I'm not getting on the NFL Reddit or whatever.
Right.
I've never done that. Never done that. I've never known how to do any of that. But I got some things that I got to do to watch these games because I can't go out and watch them either. It's too much money,
Right.
you know?
It's expensive.
That gets really expensive. I did that for a while, and man, it was not cheap. I mean, I got a mortgage payment, man. I can't afford that.
Right.
So I think let's go ahead and let's move on to the preseason game on Friday, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me, burping. Against Jacksonville. So I've got the depth chart in front of me. Obviously, it's just I don't expect every single one of these players to play.
Right.
But they at least have like the starters on there. Like right now, we've got obviously Amari Cooper and DPJ at wideout. They said they're starting Deshaun. We'll see if that changes. Right now, Nick Chubb is listed, obviously as running back number 1. Another thing I'm looking, we got, Jed, left tackle, Joel, Nick Harris, Wyatt, Conklin. Right. They have a 2 tight end formation set up at their depth chart. So they've got David Njoku and Harrison Bryant. On defense, I'm looking for anything notable. I know Denzel's not going to play. And I doubt it. I know Jack Conklin's probably not going to play either. Let's see. Obviously, we got Great Delpit and John Johnson starting as safety. Obviously, and we got Greg Newsome at cornerback. Nothing really crazy right now. Like nothing crazy on the depth chart. Although I'll say Perion Winfrey has moved up in the depth chart. He's now working with the second team instead of the third. So that's good for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's moving up, and apparently Kevin Stefanski was raving about his energy the other day. The problem is that you just kind of got to like hone it in, and
right.
He's working, he's getting better, but it's just taking that energy, control it better, and harness it and use it for something productive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I haven't really heard a whole lot of the guys that won't be playing on Friday. So, I mean, I doubt Anthony Walker is going to play just because he just came back from the injury list. So I doubt he's going to play. So we might see a lot of Jacob Phillips, at least for a little bit. We might see Martin Emerson. That would be cool.
I'm sure we will.
I would like to see him. I would really like to see him.
Yeah, I don't see a reason why you don't play him. I mean, he's a rookie. He's got to get that exposure.
Unless he's hurt. That's the only thing.
I mean, he's fine with me. Like I said, I saw. I would say Sunday and Monday are 2 totally different days. This week's been different.
Excuse me. I haven't seen anything, so I don't know. Also, I don't know if you saw this or not, but but Jamar Chase was on a podcast.
This is the second time he said it.
Oh, it's the second time he said it?
Second time he said it. Yeah.
So they were asking about like the toughest like corner to go up, and he pretty much listed just Cleveland because he said obviously Denzel Ward was as good as what he is, but they just said that they're just a bunch of trash talkers, like Greg Newsome. Just they talk a lot, but obviously they back it up. Denzel did respond on his Instagram to what he said.
That was funny.
He posted the video of Jamar Chase saying that in this podcast, and then went ahead and showed the video of him picking off Joe Burrow, literally just jumping right in front of Jamar Chase, picking off Joe Burrow, and ran it back. What was it, 92 yards for a touchdown?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Something like 90 something. I knew that much. So that was kind of cool to see again. As somebody who hates the Bengals with the passion of 1,000 suns, that was really nice to kind of relive that a little bit.
Yeah, and in the podcast, he said that I think I could speak for all three of us, talking about him, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. That they said that Denzel would be the top one. He said, I don't know that Greg Newsom's an all-pro, but he's a very good corner. And then whenever they were as the NFL Network, 2-3 weeks ago, and they were talking with D'Angelo Hall, I believe, or maybe it was Chad Johnson. I can't remember who it was they were talking to. But both T. Higgins and Jamar Chase both said Denzel without a doubt. They said that he's everything that you want in a corner, but he's an elite corner. I think that what he did to Jamar Chase last year made a huge impression on him because no one else really could do that. No one else really did that.
He went off last year, and he's definitely one of the best wide receivers in the game. Yet Denzel just locked him up.
I have to say that the Jamar Chase the Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase connection is going to be one that's going to stick around for a long time.
I hope not. I really hope not, but it will.
It's if they are going to lose a lot of money if they don't keep that around.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, terrible. That named the sponsor just.
Oh yeah, guys! If I don't know if you saw it or not.
Stadium.
Yeah, the Bengals no longer Paul Brown Stadium, Paycor Stadium. It just doesn't sound right at all. That just sounds. No, it doesn't. That just Paycor is a big company down here in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they're nationwide. They obviously have to be, but they're pretty big in Cincinnati, and that name is just god awful. But, I tell you what, it fits for a team that doesn't even have a practice facility for their players.
Which they're building one, so they can't say much.
Wow. How long have they been a team and they're just now getting them a practice facility?
I'm not saying it's right.
How long has it been? How long has it been?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, not good. Not good at all. That's just the fact that they gotta dodge traffic just to get to the practice field.
It's pretty crazy. I cannot imagine my football players having to cross the street. That's a busy street too.
It's very, very busy. Very, 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 very busy. So, there you go. I don't know if you saw this, but there was a poll where I
was just pulling it up.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. So
they did at least I hope it's the same one, but they did the highest attendance rating.
Yep.
In the NFL, and we were number one, 99.2%.
And it's not just talking about like all of just like home games though. They're talking about home and away.
And away, yeah.
Browns fans travel. And not just we travel, we're everywhere.
Yeah.
My dad lives in Florida. Okay. He lives like 2 hours south of Tampa Bay. And just Tampa. Shouldn't be Tampa Bay. My bad. He said there are Browns fans everywhere down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously a lot of Tampa fans, a lot of Miami fans, but really he said there are Browns fans everywhere. It doesn't shock me.
I can tell you just from going to camp, you see it everywhere. I mean, when I was there, they had a lot of the Browns backers clubs will have their own like different shirts depending on where they're at. I saw Myrtle Beach. I saw a Britain one, and I saw an Ireland one. So that was kind of cool to see them at camp, at least with their
Wow.
garb on. So yeah, I mean, in years past, not that I knew about it this year, but in years past at least, they would have the Browns backers members over in their own kind of special section, and I mean, you could just walk by and see them just all crazy.
Yeah.
The number of cities you would see. I mean, New York, Pittsburgh, down in Florida, like you said, all the way across the West Coast. I mean, like I said, I saw Ireland and Britain while I was there this past weekend. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
So, shout out to them for making that travel, and shout out to the Browns for have such a big fan base.
100%. Actually, the local Browns backers bar that my dad goes to, they actually just bought a bunch of tickets to the Browns and Dolphins game in Miami this year.
That'd be cool.
So my dad is going to that. They're taking a bus. They're chartering a bus,
Yeah.
driving over from the Gulf of Mexico side all the way to the Atlantic side to go watch the Browns in Miami. My dad said he's looking forward to it. It's going to be his first Browns game in a while, especially, since he moved to Florida, because he used to go to the Cincinnati games a lot.
Right.
He would go there quite a bit. Although I haven't been in a long time. The last game I went to, coincidentally, was the last game of the 2019 season. That loss against the Bengals was the only loss that Baker Mayfield had against the Bengals. And coincidentally, it was also Freddie Kitchens' last game. That was it was not a good day for me, although Odell had one of those catches that was like, oh my God, how did you do that?
Yeah. I've not seen many Browns losses lately. I mean, the last game I went to was the Lions game last year where Baker got booed.
Yeah.
That wasn't a good game, but it was a win.
It was a win. Win is a win is a win is a win.
The game before that was the Myles Garrett Thursday night game. The bad part was we were in the opposite end zone, so we didn't know what happened at first. They completely blacked out the jumbotrons.
I'm sure
no
they
one
did.
knew what was going on. And then Angie texted me. He's like, "Oh my God, Miles!" I was like, "What are you talking about?" Well, I don't. Only thing I see is commotion. I don't know what's going on. And then eventually, all the videos started to make their rounds, and we all saw it.
Yeah.
The game before that was the Hugh Jackson game, with the Bengals when Demarius Randall picked off the ball and handed it to him. That was the same game where I can see it now, but I have a game-worn glove from David Njoku. Game before that was the Thursday night game in Cincy when we smoked. Yeah, that was the infamous Thursday night game.
Yeah, that was we won't get into details of everything that happened at that game, but just know some people had too good of a time.
Yeah, I did not, but everyone else did.
Not everybody got to watch the game. How about that? Not everybody got to watch the game.
Yeah, I had to pull you away from a Bengals fan.
Bengals fan. He started. Okay, so
he called you a fat ass.
Let's call a spade here. That's exactly what happened.
Well, that's what set you over the edge.
And so I turned around, and I was maybe not the smartest move on by myself, but I turned around. I was like, all right, if you want to, hey, let's go to fisticuffs. I got Jack Johnson and Tom O'Leary right here.
I think your exact quote was, "What the fuck did you say to me?" And as you were walking towards him, and me and Scott had to pull you back, like, get the hell back over here. We're not getting thrown out before the game even goes. That was a night.
Yeah. Well, man, that was fun. The Browns won. It was like what, 28-3, something like that, or 20-3.
More than that. I think it was more than that. But it was
Andy Dalton threw for 80 yards and two interceptions. That was the Johnny
pick six.
Yes, he didn't have a pick six, but he had a pick. It was the first. It was the first drive. We were on our way to the seats when it happened.
I knew we were on our way to the seats, but I thought they scored a touchdown.
Maybe they did. I don't know. It very well could have. It doesn't matter.
I don't remember.
No, man, but that was a fun night for me because that was my first primetime game that I had ever been to. My first primetime game ever, And just there was something about, like, you could feel the energy in the air, even though if we were in one of the worst stadiums in the NFL, fuck Paul Brown Stadium, or I'm sorry, Paycor Stadium. Fuck that place. But that was man, that was a good night for us Browns fans. It was a real good night. I had fun through that game. I had lots of fun.
I have to say this. Both primetime games I've been to in my lifetime have been ruined by something else happening that night that made it not feel as good of a win should feel.
Dude, because people get too crazy on primetime games, man.
Well, the Thursday night game, you know what happened then.
Yeah.
And then the Myles Garrett game, that didn't feel like a win because we knew he was gone for a while.
Yeah.
So it's like, God, can I catch a break?
Exactly. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, that that primetime game was fun though, for the most part.
Yeah.
Other than the other stuff that, like you said, we're not going to get into it here on what exactly happened. Like, we will just say somebody had too good of a time.
More than one person they overindulged. It's plain and simple. They overindulged. It's that everyone's okay. They survived.
Yeah, everyone was okay. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
For the severely. Maybe one person went to the hospital.
That wasn't because they got hurt.
Yeah, it happens, and things happen. See, me, when I get, like, I like alcohol. I don't I don't drink all the time. I don't drink every day. Might have a drink every couple of weeks or so, give or take. But, like, if I'm at a game, I don't really drink there because, number one, it's expensive.
No. Yeah,
it's very expensive, and number two, because I'm so focused on the game. Like, when I watch it, I'm analyzing everything. I'm not just watching where the ball goes. I'm watching what the offensive line is doing. Focus on how the wide receivers are running their routes, things like that. Or I'll watch how the quarterback is dropping back. It's just little things like that. And I can't focus on that if I'm inebriated. That's why when I go golfing, I don't drink. Because I am so focused on what I'm doing, I can't drink. I am so focused on making sure that I hit this ball right and my technique is fine. I can't do that. So that's what I do. But yeah, guys, we'll talk about the next week. We're definitely going to talk about what happened during this first preseason game. Hopefully we come out of this injury free. Because I was going to think about asking you, like, what you want to look for, what you hope to see out of this game. And I'll say this for me, I just hope we come out injury free at this point.
That's all I think.
That's all I want to see. Because you're not going to get a whole lot. You're not going to get a whole lot about your offense or your defense out of these preseason games because you're not going to show anybody anything. Right. Why would you do that? Why would you show anybody anything in the preseason? It's dumb. It's dumb to do that. So absolutely. I want to see some of these second and third and possibly fourth stringers make some plays, but we come out healthy. That's all I want. That's all I want. What about you?
Yeah. And that's really all I want too.
Okay.
And then obviously I want to see what Watson looks like. He's been gone for 2 years, so it's gonna be nice to see him on the field.
Maybe. I don't think we will. I don't think we will see him.
I don't think there's any way they get it done that fast.
You
saw how long it took with Sue Robinson.
I know. But the NFL doesn't want him playing. Now that Stefanski went ahead and said that, Watson's starting, they're gonna rule tomorrow. I'm telling you, they will. Yeah. I hope not. Well, actually, I kind of do. Because I want to know what we're getting into.
Right.
I would like to know at this point. So, we'll see. I would at least just like to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
we'll see what happens. I don't know what they're gonna do. I just hope that whatever it is, it comes down soon.
Mm-hmm. We the fans deserve it. We deserve to know. So.
Yep, I agree.
But guys, I think that's gonna do it for today's episode. I appreciate everybody coming out and watching. We'll see you next week with kind of our takeaways from preseason game week 1, and we'll talk about obviously some other other issues that may or may not come up, and maybe we'll have
next week should be joint practices, right?
Yeah, that's right, against the Philadelphia Eagles, the joint practice in Cleveland.
We'll have some news,
and prepare to see some. There's going to be some jawing. It's going to get a little chippy. It's going to get a little chippy.
Fisticuffs.
Yeah, hopefully not too much, because you don't want a lot of it. But I forgot to ask you. The one more thing I want to ask you: did you watch Hard Knocks?
No,
you didn't watch Hard Knocks.
I have no desire to watch the Lions on Hard Knocks.
It was a good episode, though. I will say that it was a good episode.
Sure.
You know how every team not every team, but a lot of teams has their rookies put on like a little show.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson did it. And man, he had a Hard Knocks moment.
Did he?
He sang Billie Jean for the team, and the whole team went ape shit.
Was he good? Was he bad?
No, it was bad. But they all went crazy because he was having fun with it, though. It wasn't like he knew he was bad, but he had fun. And he actually screwed up when he started it. He forgot the words and had to start over. And once he did it again, there's a clip on YouTube. I urge you to go watch it. It is a good clip because the whole team starts singing the chorus with him. And there's some player up front. I can't remember. I don't know who it was, but some guy in like the second row takes off his shirt and just does that and fucking throws it.
The no look catch.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. I won't lie. And, my man MCDC is a character.
Oh, I think everyone knew that.
Oh yeah. MCDC, man. Motor City Dan Campbell. I like him. I like Dan Campbell, and I feel bad that he coaches the Lions.
Yeah.
I feel real bad for him. That's not a team you want to coach, but who wants to coach Browns at this point? Just fucking dumpster fire. Well, yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for everything. Appreciate everybody coming and watching. We'll see you next week. And thank you again. This has been Load the Box Browns, brought to you by Unified Athletic Wear. Go to unifiedathleticwear.com for any and all athletic wear needs. That's Eric Mienko. I'm Chris Baxitas. We'll end it how we always do. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Hoo, hoo.